Welcome, Buff fans. I am pleased to be joined by a young man that's about to become one of the newest Colorado Buffaloes, Preston Ashley, one of the top recruits in the 2026 class. Preston, I believe you're going to sign on Wednesday and
Yes,
make it
sir.
official, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%.
Awesome. Well, first off, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. So let's talk about the process and how you got to this point right now. I mean, obviously, growing up in Mississippi,
Yes, sir.
you're from Brandon, Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
Lots of SEC schools down there. Lots
Yes,
of schools
sir.
in the South that I'm sure were interested in you. Talk about how you became a Colorado Buffalo.
It just really came down to like what place fitted me. It was so many good schools that recruited me. My parents and I really sat down and prayed, and God really gave us the answer that Colorado was home because even when I went on my official visit, I knew this was a place that I wanna, call my home for my college, and even when I go pro into the NFL, represent everything that Colorado has taught me and being a Buff, and just showing how special being a Buff is. So you know, and of course not the obvious. Who wouldn't want to go play for their childhood hero? I mean, I've been wearing number 21, and I wore number two one year because my Coach Brown's my hero. He's my role model and what I do a lot. So I would never miss up on that opportunity, and that really factored everything when I really felt it on my official visit that was home. I told my mom and dad, and I started crying. I was like, this is where I want to spend my college career at.
So knowing that, when you first get the offer from Colorado and you find out Coach Prime wants you to play for him, what were the emotions for you and your family?
Oh, I got pulled out of class to take the call and a text message about him. When I got told I had the offer, I remember screaming down the middle of the hallway and teachers opening their doors like, "Is everything okay?" So yesterday I was just so excited and so blessed to be able to get to play, have an opportunity to play for someone that I've looked up since a little kid up to all my life.
So when you get the offer, did you know right away, yep, I'm going to Colorado? Or was it, let me check it out first. Let me see how the town is, things like that.
Yes, sir. 100%. It was a definitely like I kind of knew in the back of my head, but I just want to be precautious. I just wanted to make sure that this was the place that fitted me, and thank God it was.
Well, tell me about your first visit. I know you've been up there a couple times, right?
Yes, sir. I've been there twice. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I know you came back in October, but your first visit, I think was in June. Is that right? And then you
Yes,
committed right
sir.
after that. So tell me about your first visit. What was it like? Not just, Coach Prime and the facilities, but, being in Boulder. Tell me about the first impressions.
Yes, sir. So being from the South, I'm around SEC country. It's
Mhm.
like that's everybody is like based on SEC. Like you had to go to an SEC school to make it. And then when I went up there, it just made me realize that you can go anywhere, ball. You know, have a great fan base. That's one thing that I noticed about Boulder. Boulder is such a, besides the football aspect of it, it's such a beautiful place. And that's somewhere what I truly thought at first that I wouldn't be able to live at. And then after I visited, I was like, wow, I didn't
Mhm.
want to come home because
Yeah.
outside of the football aspect of it, I love the place of Boulder. You have other things to do around there, but the only thing really I would be worried about is football. But yeah, Boulder is just such a great place, and I felt it fit me so well.
I've been down to the South and never lived there, but it's way different from Colorado.
Yes,
So
sir.
just the environment and the scenery and all that stuff, and the South is beautiful as well, but it's just very different in Colorado. Were you kind of blown away at first, like the mountains and all those things?
Oh my gosh, yes. When we were getting picked up from the airport on my official visit, we were riding into Boulder, and then I looked up. I asked Coach Oliver, one of my coaches. I asked him. I said, "What is that on top of the mountains?" He said, "That's snow," and it felt like 100 degrees out there. I was like, "Snow still going?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's." I forgot what he told me was about, but it was just still so beautiful just to see like how different it was. It was different
Mhm.
geographically, it was different culturally. It's something that I got a taste of and I want to be around it so much longer than the only chance I had to be.
Yeah. What game did you come to in October?
I came to when we played Iowa State.
So that was a good one. Yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
was obviously a big win for the Buffs.
Yes, sir. I was so excited.
Tell me about the atmosphere in the stadium because in June, obviously, it was not the season yet, and so you couldn't experience a full Folsom, but you did in October. What
Yes.
did you think of that experience, just being there for a packed out stadium?
Now they try to warn me at first, like, hey, I know you're from SEC country, but this up here is it's like nothing else, and it's one in a million. Like the
Yeah,
fans, like I love the fans so much. I love the stadium. Like it just gives me it just gives me just a vibe of, you know, this is the place to be. Like it gives
yeah,
me so much of that, just the fans, the stadium, the interactions that the people have. Like I had a conversation with someone for dang near the whole game, and we just talked and talked, and that just see how friendly and interactive everyone is up there, and it just I I'm just every time I talk about Boulder, it's hard not to keep a smile on my face because I'm blown away every time.
yeah. And there's a lot of guys on this team that are from Mississippi, that are from Georgia or other places in the South. How much did you talk to those other guys to find out how did you adjust from being in the South your whole life to being in Boulder? Did you talk to any of those guys?
Yes, sir. I talk to a lot of guys, especially from the Georgia, Mississippi area. I have a friend. He isn't that far from where I stay, but he's up there now.
Hmm.
Number 13, John Slaughter. But he was just telling me how it's different from home, but it's the place to be. Like if it's not Boulder, Colorado, like wow, where else would you want to go? The only thing
Yeah,
that me being from the South, I had to get used to is I guess the altitude up there, since the elevation is very high. But
yeah.
that's the only thing they said that had a problem with, and everything else they said it sound when they talk when me and them talk, it sounds like they're loving Boulder more than home. So if it's a place like that, I know that when it becomes my home, I ain't never gonna want to leave.
Yeah, usually when I talk to players that come to Colorado, they're from the South. The biggest thing they miss is that home cooking. I mean, you can't find
Yeah.
that cooking in the South is that's next level, right?
Yes, sir, 100%.
Yeah,
You gotta come down and try something. I promise.
yeah.
It's a great time too right now.
So I got to ask you because obviously this season did not go the way the Buffs wanted. They were hoping for a bowl game and winning season. Didn't turn out well, 3-9, and they've lost some commits. Did you ever waver? Did you ever watch them play and think, man, maybe this isn't where I want to go?
No, sir, not at all. That's not how I was raised. I know that's. I just think a lot of times with guys now and recruits, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody or anything anyone has done. Just when times get hard, what can you do to still be committed and still
Hmm.
be the person you said you was when you committed? What can you do to still be the same guy and not change over time? So
Yeah,
my thing was, we have a tough time, but that's life. Life is going to throw rocks and stones at you. You just got to maneuver and twist and turn, bend backwards to do everything that you can do to get it done. So, oh, excuse me. I didn't waver at all. I was 110%. A lot of people down here since living in SEC country are like, man, you see Colorado record this, that, this, that. I said, man, I bleed black and gold.
yeah.
If I could get a tattoo of a buffalo on my face right now, I wouldn't. But yeah, it's Colorado, and that's just me. I feel like, especially after signing Wednesday, it's going to be a part of my life as it already is right now.
Yeah, Coach Prime has the line. He used it a few weeks ago. Are you a dog or a cat? When he was talking about recruits and
Yes,
saying,
sir.
a cat's going to run away from it, a dog's going to, face this challenge. I assume that you heard that and probably
Yes,
thought to
sir.
yourself, yeah, I'm a dog, Coach.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, especially everybody being so fortunate now, to get a lot of stuff that people, well, my dad's age and like Coach Prime age wasn't able to get. Then it's like we a lot of guys growing up in a cat like environment with
Yeah,
a little to slim dog mentality. And I could be honest, I grew in a cat environment. I live in a great environment. I'm very blessed, but just knowing from a young age that my dad just instilled in me, my mom just instilled in me that being a dog doesn't just mean on the field. It means in everything that you do, because anything that you do is everything that you do.
Yeah. And they do call this time of year flip season, going
Yes,
into,
sir.
signing day. So who knows what's going to happen with the other guys in your class. But how much do you guys talk to each other, you and the other commits, about what you're talking about? Like, let's go up there. I know they're 3-9. Let's go up there and change it to where, we're not 3-9.
Yes, sir. Especially my guy that's gonna be my roommate, Carson Crawford. Like me and him talk about it every like a lot. Like we were just saying how we need to go out there, change the culture.
Hmm.
We trying to make a dynasty up there because I don't want when people hear Colorado like, oh, that team. I want people to be like, oh, I want a recruit that's in my shoe to be like, I want to go to Colorado because Preston Ashley paved the way up there so I can be a great DB or I could be a great whatever they want to do in life. I want to be that type of guy, and I want my teammates, which they are, want to be the exact type of guys and just pave the way because when that time comes and we blow everybody mind with the national championship, that's what all this hard work that we're doing and what we're gonna put into when we get there comes out.
How excited did you get seeing some of the young guys on this team ball out this year? And uh, even though they're 3-9, I mean, you still have like London Merritt, Alex McPherson that are playing well. I mean, John Slaughter, you mentioned him. The last several games finally got in there and played really well. Were you excited watching some of those younger guys and say, "Man, when my class gets in there and joins them, we're gonna be pretty good"?
No, that's sir, most definitely, especially having I'm already called this because they're just not, the future Heisman and Juju Lewis. I mean, the sky's the limit for us,
Mhm.
and I just know my class with the type of guys we go in there, we have that we have in there, and what we're gonna do when comes January and then to the fall time, it's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of incompletions on the defensive side, a lot of
Mhm.
run stops. It's gonna be a lot of touchdowns scored, and that's our mentality with everything that we go in every day when we go to the facility because we have a job and that's to win and ball out at all costs.
So for you personally, you committed back in June, and then you had
Yes,
to
sir.
play your whole senior year. What did you focus on? I mean, obviously you're trying to win games, and you guys got a couple rounds in the playoffs. I know you lost on Friday night, but um, what did you kind of focus on for your senior season as far as getting better as a player and getting ready for Colorado?
Being a better leader, I feel like leaders just don't start when you're a senior. Leader starts from when you're a young pup. If you lead, like I said earlier, anything you do in life is everything you do in life. Being a leader, the little minor things I need to fix on my game, the missteps, the wrong alignments, watching film, being more attentive about what's going on during the game, down and distance, stuff like that. And really just, being true to myself, like,
Yeah.
okay, Preston, like that wasn't a good play. Would that fly when you get there in Colorado in January? Would Coach Prime approve of that? Would Coach Mathers approve of that? Will that get you sent back home? Like I just think of stuff like that, and just I won't necessarily say stay hard on myself, but just having it back in my mind that in the game that you love and the game that you've been playing ever since you were a little boy, it's different things and a high expectation you hold yourself to. So just things like that that I just really stayed on top of myself about.
Yeah, and obviously, as much as a high school kid might know, they get to college and it's like, whoa, I'm learning a lot of stuff here. How
Right.
excited are you for that, to take your game to another level once you get here in the spring and start learning from Coach Prime and Mathis and whoever the coaches are that are still here, Livingston or whoever?
Yes, sir. I'm just so excited because, always being taught from my dad from a young age, the guys who gonna catch on the faster, are the one that's gonna play the faster. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited to see what my knowledge of, getting prepared for these few months leading into Colorado, how my mind has developed, how fast I can catch on, how I can apply things from film onto the football field. So I'm just really excited on how my game is gonna elevate because I know it's definitely is.
Yeah, and I know you're going to be here in January. Are you ready for this move?
Yes,
You're
100%.
young. You're going to graduate high school early. You ready to give that up?
Yes, sir. I'm 100%. I see this as a great opportunity, to have if the best athlete ever, besides me, of course, to ever do this, um, ever in the sport that everyone loves, the America's game, and just being one step closer to my dream, and that's being in the NFL, being a first rounder, being able to retire my mom from working and everything. It just so much closer. I'm just so blessed. I'm so ready.
Awesome. Well, I know Buff fans are ready to see you. You're one of the guys they're excited about in this class as a four-star recruit. And you're gonna be playing nickel, right? I know you're
Yes,
coming as a
sir.
safety, but you'll be a nickelback, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be Nickelback. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you feel like, one last question for you. Do you feel like that you're versatile enough that wherever they need you, you can play safety, corner, nickel, wherever?
Yes, sir. I mean, my motto always been just get me on the field. Like I could play kicker if you need me to do it. It just doesn't matter. If they want to flex me back at nickel, or they want to flex me back at safety or corner. Middle linebacker might be a stretch because I'm not 230. I can't, but I can go in there and hit somebody if you need me to. So it's just all about me contributing and whatever I can do to make our team great.
You might get to 230 at the training table they have here.
No, for sure. Yes, sir. For sure. For sure. For sure.
Well, hey, thank you very much for your time. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and look forward to seeing you in January when you get to Boulder.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Merry Christmas to yours.